Well, I grew up in that environment. My parents divorced at an early age, I think before I was 6, if I am correct, but I know I was not. Hello lovers, welcome to another episode of Very Beautiful Chaos. My name is Debola. How are you doing? If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. I so much appreciate you, and please subscribe to the channel right away just before you forget, because you're going to get glued to this channel and you will almost think that you've subscribed and you won't yet. So please just subscribe right away. To my other subscribers, thank you very much for your constant love and support. You guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much. So to today's business, if you watched the first video on this channel, you'll see where I mentioned it that the niches will not be restricting the things I will be bringing on this channel to address. So today I will be talking about what you should not be doing as a single parent in respect to your children. I know some of you are already rolling your eyes like, who does she think she is? How old are you? Why do you think you can advise us on what to do or what we should not be doing in that matter? Well. Hold up. Well, I grew up in that environment. My parents divorced at an early age, I think before I was 6, if I am correct, but I know I was not 7 yet. I was not even 6 yet. Yeah, my parents divorced at an early age. So I grew up in that environment, and I have lived a larger part of my life of the consequences of their actions and inactions. Aside my own case, I have friends, I have acquaintances with similar background. So by knowledge and by experience, I am qualified to talk to you on this matter. So just relax and listen to me. And by single parents, I mean never married, widowed, and divorced. As long as you are a single parent, it's not just for divorcees. As long as you are a single parent, the things I'll be talking about affect you, affect your children. So let us dig. The first few points I'll be mentioning, they will be leaning more towards the never married and the divorced parents. And this is something that really gives me a kind of feeling anytime I think about it, and it is never ever use your children as a weapon against your ex or the other parents. Don't do it. You know, I know that you are bitter. I know that things can really get messy between two adults who come together, thought that they were going to, either one person thought that it is for forever, or they both even thought it was for forever, and things got messy. I know it can be crazy, but please, it is absolutely getting when you use your children as a weapon against the other party. You know, it is heavy enough that your children will be growing up under abnormal circumstances. See, growing up with a single parent is abnormal. It is what it is. It is the truth. So it is normal that they will be growing up under abnormal circumstances. Either they spend the week here, they spend the other week there, or the other party is not even present at all. Either way, it is abnormal. It is heavy enough on the children. Then adding them to your revenge mission. Come on. It is, to me, in my opinion, it is an offense that is hard to forgive, especially when the children grow up and they realize that you've been using them as a weapon against their other parents. And in my conversation with some older women in this category lately, I discovered that some of them do this thing without even knowing that they're doing it. Both men and women do it. I'm not just saying that it's only women that use children as weapon against their ex. No, I'm not saying that. Some people do it without knowing that is what they're doing. So I will be talking about how you can use your children as a weapon against against the other parents, or how you've been using them. But one thing I wrote down here is you are constantly magnifying the wrongs, the weaknesses of your ex around your kids. What do I mean by this? I know that, like I said, I know that things might have been messy between you guys, but you're constantly talking, bad-mouthing the other parents in the presence of your kids. You are gradually sowing poison, seeds of bitterness in the heart of those children. And I know that most single parents do this. Most, not all, but most single parents have come to know they do it. It is out of bitterness, especially when the other party has seemed to have moved on, which is, it is wrong. I don't want to judge anyone, but it is wrong. If you're doing it already, stop it. And some people don't even say it directly to their children, but they can have guests. You know, you have guests, a guest who knows how the whole thing went down between you and that other person, and you know your children are in the house, and you start talking about your ex-partner right where your children are. Either way they are hearing. Don't plant seeds of bitterness in their hearts. Don't. If the other person is that terrible, let them go. They are going to see it. The best you can do is to pray for them. Pray for your children. I know some people will say that, oh, I need to tell my children what their father did, what their mother did, so that they will not fall victim, blah, 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 so they will know how they will be careful around him or her. Hello. You don't need it. No human being can protect another human being from another human being. If you get it, I don't know. I mean, you get the message already. You don't have the power to protect your children. The best you can do for them is to pray for them. Yeah, you can put certain measures in place if you know that, okay, this person poses a danger to my children, or you really don't need to magnify their weaknesses in presence of your children. You're making your children to see them in a certain terrible light. And because someone was a bad wife to you does not mean she's going to be a bad mother. Because someone was a bad husband to you does not mean that he's going to be a terrible father. Let him live it out. If he's going to be a terrible father, let the children grow up to see that, okay, this person is a terrible father. Stop it. You are influencing your children's opinions about that person. Allow them to form their own judgments about the other person. So the number 2 thing here is you are constantly cursing or swearing at the other parents in the presence of your kids. Even if your children are not there, even if you're in your closet, don't. If you have one child or 2 children with someone else, don't curse them. I don't know what their offense to you could have been, but as long as that person gave you a child, or you people have a child together, I don't know whether you're the woman or you're the man, don't curse the other person. Especially if you claim to love your children, except, okay, you decided that, okay, I don't want those children anymore. Even at that, you should not. It is like you're causing a well. If you're causing a well to be bad, the water from it is also going to be bad. If you're causing that other parents is not going to do well, she's not going to do well, you're causing your children too. Your children will not do well. It is as simple as that. He's going to die young, your children will die young, because even if they've not seen each other before, even if they've not seen each other before, even if they are not in constant communication, life still flows from that other parent to your children. It is spiritual. Life still flows from that other parent to your children. So if you're already causing your ex or whoever you had a child with, please and please go and repent. Ask God for forgiveness of sin. Repent, and the mouth you've been using to curse them, you better start blessing them back. You better start blessing them, and then ask for mercy over your children, because that thing you've been saying to the other person, you've been saying to either to the man you have a child with or to the woman, you are likely going to see it on your children. That is why you will see a lot of single parents toil so hard on the children, and the children are still nothing to write home about, or the children even do well and they don't even remember them. Don't sow seeds that will be too bitter for you to eat in the future. The number 3 thing I wrote here is you intentionally cut off the other parent from your children's life. A lot of people do this. A lot of people do this, and it is wrong. If you do it, I don't know what the other person did to you, but if you intentionally cut your children off from the other parents, then you are as terrible as the other person. It's as simple as ABC, because you are not even allowed. Some children will grow up and decide to sever ties with the other parents. Let them do it on their own. There's this Bible verse that comes to my mind, but I can only remember it in my mother's tongue. I can't remember it in English, but for those who understand Yoruba, it is that o lè ṣe kí ohun ìkọsẹ̀ kó má sí, ṣùgbọ́n ègbé ni fún ẹni tí ohun ìkọsẹ̀ bá ti ọwọ́ ẹ̀ wáyé. So if you know the meaning of that, if I remember the what it means in English, when I remember the verse, I'm going to put it on the screen. I understand that some parents abandon their children. I know that. If they voluntarily abandon the children, it is a different ballgame. But if you're the one who cut them off, who denied them access to the children, it's a terrible thing. Because when those children grow up, they might not tell you, they will go and look for the other parents. They will. It's not a cause. They might not look for the other parents when they are 30, when they are 40, but they will still go and look for the other parents. And that way you're causing them to even sin, because they will be dishonest with you. They will want to put your feelings into consideration, so they won't be able to open up to you. They will be going to see the other parent secretly. And is it really necessary? And you know what happens when they're going to see the other parent secretly? That one is going to know that you don't know that they're coming to see him or her. And if the person is also evil, is going to take that chance to poison the mind of your children against you. Then what is the essence of the labor of 20 years, 10 years you did alone on the children? If they don't want to be a part of their children's life, it is a different case. But don't shut the other party out of your children's life. Don't do it. If your children want to cut off from them, let your children do it by themselves. But if you are the one sponsoring the agenda, if you're the ringleader of it, you have a punishment waiting for you from God. I'm not judging you, but it is what it is. There's a story of a woman that I know of. A man truly abandoned her and the children initially after the divorce. He didn't take responsibilities, but I think after 7 years, the man came back and he said he wants to start taking responsibilities over his children, and the woman shut him out completely. Yeah, I understand that the anger, the resentment of shouldering the responsibilities of two persons all alone all these years, and the man kept on begging her continuously, as I heard, for over 10 years. She did not agree. Neither did she ever mention it to her children that your father is reaching out to you. She never did, not for once. And the children do ask her, where is daddy? She tells them, oh, he doesn't remember us. You people know the story. Stop disturbing me. And the man will reach out to her through emails. He sends her emails. And later the man just stopped disturbing, because the man did not even know where the children are. He does not even know where she herself, where she was residing. And then suddenly in the future, one of them decided to go and look for the father. She met the father, and the father, she went to the man with anger, with resentment, and the man was like, come on, it's your mother that said you people don't need me. And she was like, no, it's a lie. Only for the man to open his laptop, the emails, and that child was very shocked. And of course, the bitterness she was having against the father, she turned the whole bitterness against the mother, because she was like, why? If it was called, she could deny, but the emails where the man was even asking, okay, if you don't want me to see them, send your account number, let me be paying something every month. This woman refused. And in fact, it was a very, very messy story. Eventually, they forgave her, but the relationship was never smooth again. Like, the relationship between the mother and the children, it got bad after that incident. So if you're really doing it, you need to stop. Let your children see their mother. Let your children see their father. You cannot play father and mother to your children. You cannot. God created them male and female. You cannot play the role of a mother if you're a man. You cannot play the role of a father if you're a woman. So know it and know peace. I am not overlooking the fact that they are really terrible people. Probably they are drug addicts, many issues. There are so many issues that might want you to make the decision of keeping these children away from this man. I think the only reason why you might want to keep the children away from the father is if he tried to sexually abuse one of them. Or probably you caught him in the act of trying to use one of them for rituals. But if it's not something as serious as that, probably of sexual abuse or whatever, let them see the other parents. You got married to them, you know how terrible they are. You can set up measures. Okay, there's nothing like sleepovers in this home. You guys will only be seen in public space or under my supervision, or you people will only be seeing yourselves in a restaurant, in my office, in an office. My lawyer is going to be present. My law enforcement officer is going to be present. You can set the terms, but don't cut the ties. It never ends well. The remaining points I'll be talking about now, they address all categories together: the never married parents, the divorced, and the widowed. The number one I have here is separating the children. For instance, you have 2 kids or 3 kids or 4 kids, and then you keep one day, you keep one day, you keep one day, you keep one day. Why? Well, I understand that economy, things are not that nice, things are not that favorable. If at all you need to do it, please and please let it be for a limited time. Look for a means to get all of them together under the same roof. They necessarily don't have to stay with you. Because you're a single parent, you have to work hard, you have to go and make money. Probably they'll be staying with your mother, your sister, or someone that you've really, really trusted. Let them be under the same roof. If I thought they have to be separated, it should be for a limited period of time. Limited period of time. Please. So the second point under that category is moving your kids constantly. I mean, 3 months here, 1 year there, 2 years here, 1 week there. Why? It is not healthy for the children. It is not healthy. I understand that things can get out of control at times, but please be intentional about the environment you give your children. It is important. If you're constantly moving them, you're creating an imbalance in their psychological well-being. These things have effect on children. And let me say this: if you are in the process of getting a divorce, or you're already looking at divorce, please, the first thing and you have kids with that person, the first thing you should be looking at right now is a safe and stable environment for the children. That should be your first priority. Where will your children be staying? As a single parent, finances are very important. They don't have to stay with you because you have to work. You have to provide for them. But know that you have to work, you have to provide for them, and that can involve you traveling every now and then. what you should be looking at first is how to create a stable and safe environment for your kids. In my opinion, if your life is not at risk, till you are able to provide a stable and safe environment for your kids, you're not supposed to be looking at divorce yet, except your life is at risk. Please and please make sure that you're not moving them. Today they stay in a city, tomorrow they move to another city, the next day they go back to that previous city. Educationally, you're setting them back. Emotionally, they will be unstable, and you're creating anxiety issues in them. They will be anxious. Even when they are finally in a stable environment, they will still be anticipating to be displaced again, and it will grow up with them. That anxiety you've given them as children is going to grow up with them. They don't have to stay with you if it is not going to be convenient that you have to make money. It can be your mother, your friend, whoever. Just let the environment be stable. If it means that, okay, if you travel for 4 months, when you come back, they will be in that environment. You spend time with them again, you go and look for the money that. But please and please, emphasis on the word safe environment. And the safety of the environment is very important. Don't take your children to suspected pedophiles, abusers, and all of that, or people who have values that you wouldn't want your children to emulate. It is very risky. It is very, very risky. So you have to ensure that's why I was using the word safe. You have to ensure that the environment is safe. Third point here is stop introducing your children to your new partners. You see this particular table, we should break it finally. Some people, in 3 years, your children already know about 4 of your boyfriends. They know 5 of your girlfriends. Why? I'm not even saying you should not have new partners. I'm not saying you should not have new relationships. What I'm saying is they have no business meeting your children, and your children have no business meeting them. If you don't have marriage, like the marriage is already glaring like this, like nothing can change it, don't introduce them to your children. You are confusing them. You are confusing your children by doing that. And it is very disturbing that if you keep doing this thing, it will get to a point that even when you now bring a serious partner home, probably a guy or a female, whatever, your children will be uninterested in meeting that person, because they will just feel is one of those people. This person will also soon leave, and you don't want that. And that new partner is now going to be perceiving your children as being rude, or that they don't like him or her. Of course, I'm not saying that you should not tell your partners that you have children. You can tell them, I have a kid, I have 2 kids, I have 3 kids. Thank God for technology. Show them pictures. These are the pictures of my children, or I want to meet them. I am not comfortable with that right now. It is as simple as ABC. It is you prioritizing the sanity of your children. What some men even say is that I want my children to be able to bond with the woman I want to marry. Some of you've made your children bonded with obanjes, with evil spirits, with mami water in the name of bonding. They will bond with this one. In the next 6 months, they will bond with another one. In the next 4 months, they will bond with another one. What kind of system is that? It is lack of discipline to me. You can have new partners, but if both families have not met, if you yourself, you're not sure yet that, okay, this person, I can marry her, I can marry him, this person is going to love my children. If you've not evaluated this person, and both families met and agreed that this person, both of you will get married, and you've set a date, keep your children out of the picture. Keep your children out of the picture. And also, please stop receiving romantic calls in the presence of your children. Stop it. You can have new partners, but stop receiving romantic calls in their presence. You can always do it before you get home, or when you're on your own. Of course, I'm not saying that you should just go and get married one day and show up at the door. Kids, this is the woman I married. Meet her. Or kids, this is the man I married. That is not what I'm saying. My point is that there should be certainty that it is this person you want to settle with. There should be certainty. That certainty should be there. That is my point. And when there is certainty, sit your children down and talk to them. I'm looking at settling down with him. This is the man. This is his age. This is what he do. Show them pictures. Tell them what they need to know. By what they need to know, I don't mean you start trying to paint an unnecessarily good image of that person. Oh, it's this man that's been paying you their school fees. Oh, he's the one that's been paying our rent. Ah, he's the one that got me that job. This woman, she has been the one sending those food to us. This woman, she has been going to the mountain to pray for you. She has been going to the temple. Why? That way, if you say all of those unnecessary details, when you're just telling your children about that person, you're not giving them the room to express their feelings about that person. Children can pick feelings fast. They can even, by just looking at the picture, even though they can be wrong at times, but you will be giving them room to express their fears. You already told them that this person pays their school fees. What do you expect them to say? You now say, oh, children, do you like him? What would they say? It's like you sprinkle sugar on their tongue and then you ask them, what did you taste? What are they going to taste? Of course, sweetness. So my point is, if it is your first time of talking to your children about that person, tell them only what they need to know about that person. Don't paint an unnecessarily good image about that person. Don't give them that image. Let them say how they feel. Then if they are wrong, you will correct them. Oh no, if they say, oh, they can say, oh, he looks unfriendly, and you know that genuinely he is friendly. Then you can tell them that, oh, he is friendly, his face is just like that. Then you can make corrections. But just going ahead to paint unnecessarily good image in their head, it is as good as you married the person and walk through the door telling your children, oh, I got married today, there's nothing people will do. It's the same thing, because you just told them that way for formality's sake. You really did not discuss it with them. So to reiterate, my point is, don't introduce your new partners to your children if there is no certainty that you're going to settle down with that person. So for people who are not looking at settling down with him but are having partners, don't let your children see them. Don't let them see your children. They don't have reason to see. Really, there's no reason to see, because even if you're doing that, you're painting a poor image of yourself in your children's head. You're painting this no standard image, no standard, no taste image. And you might, if you have children of the same gender as you might be giving them the wrong impression of what to be looking for in men, in women. So you might really want to be careful with that. A quick recap on everything I've said so far is: 1, don't use your children as a weapon against your ex or the other parent. 2 is, don't magnify the mistakes, the weaknesses of your ex or your other parent in the presence of your children. Do not curse your other partner. Either your children are there or not, don't curse them. The third thing is, don't intentionally cut off the other parents from the lives of your children. It does not end well. And the number 4 is, don't separate children. Number 5 is, don't move your kids around. Don't give them that unstable environment while growing up. It causes serious psychological issues, anxiety especially. The children will grow up to deal with anxiety. Even when they are now successful, when they have happiness, they will still be anxious. They will be anticipating the next bad thing that will happen and take the happiness away from them. You really don't want that. And the 6th thing, if I'm not wrong, that I talked about is, stop introducing your new partners to your children. Stop it. Of course, things you should not be doing as single parents are much more than that, but those are the ones I want to talk about today. Please and please ponder on them. Please and please, the ones that you've been doing already, stop them immediately and start making amends. We've come to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for staying with me. Please and please like this video, comment and share it. Please share it to every single parent you know. It is very important. Like I said at the beginning of this video, some people don't know that it is not good. Some people don't know that these things have effects on the children. So please, you might be saving a family, you might be saving a whole generation if you share this video. Thank you very much for staying with me. I love you so much. Please and please, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, subscribe right away. Please and please subscribe. I'm going to see you in my next video. Till then,